Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dungeon Days. It is Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. It's been about a month since I streamed, various reasons, but I really wanted to start again, so here we are. Navigating the Labyrinth is an indie dungeon crawler that caught my eye on Steam, part of a 4-game series, or at least similar games. So similar, in fact, that they all share one manual, which I have up in a PDF file so that we can refer to it if we need to. Today's lunch already eaten with some frozen burritos. And that's about all there is to say about that. Nothing special at all. So, without too much further ado, let's get the game going. I think I have it all set up. Made with Unity splash screen, something you don't see that often anymore. Alright, take a look at the settings. They're a little bare bones. I think that it's good where it is. If the volumes seem off, let me know. We'll go ahead and do a new game, and it dumps us straight into character creation after a short thing. Your party has just arrived in the Eastern Highlands after a long journey across the desert and through the hills. The once great town of Faerie lies ahead, much of its population lost to the labyrinths of the Minotaur King. Great riches await you if you can solve the mysteries of the labyrinths, and if you can defeat the Minotaur King, you might just be able to save Faerie from becoming another abandoned city. Boom, character creation. And actually, it looks like the game might be coming through a bit loud. I'm going to switch away from it for a minute, which means it'll stop making music. Turn it down a bit. Across the desert and through the hills to grandmother's house we go. Hey Shoujo, how you doing? Nice to see you. All right. So, we get this character creation screen. I have 7 class this morning. Can't stay long. Just wanted to pop in while I could. Oh, I'm always glad to see you. You guys still in California? Each of the 4 games has a different set of classes. This one has Warrior, Mercenary, Monk, Thief, Assassin, Shaman, Sage, and Oracle. So 8 classes, and we can only have 6 characters. As usual, we'll get a Warrior, focus solely on melee combat. Yep, beginning the 8-hour drive back as soon as Nick gets back from a coffee run. Sounds good. I saw some familiar things in the pictures that you posted. A mercenary is a thief/warrior. So, just multi-classing that way. A monk is a skilled warrior who cannot wear armor heavier than cloth. We're definitely going to take a monk. Yeah, especially Griffith Park got a big a big nostalgia hit for me. We used to go to Griffith Park quite a bit when I was a teenager. Thief. Thieves have a mix of abilities, including hiding, backstab attacks, and identifying items. We definitely need a thief. An assassin is a fighter thief. Shamans have a mix of healing and offensive magic. Mana is based on their wisdom score. A sage is a spellcasting class with offensive powers related to the mind and projection of force. And they can enchant items. And an oracle is a spellcasting class with powers related to time, prediction, detection, and movement. So I guess let's get going. A warrior. Beatrice, a half-orc warrior. That sounds good to me, but the stats, strength, more intelligence than strength, higher constitution. Let's re-roll these a couple times until we get a high strength. Wow, 16 strength and 20 constitution. The stats only go to 20, so this seems like a good set. We'll keep Beatrice. And then, let's see, thinking about our front line. Let's make a monk. We'll reroll a couple times. Oh. A half-elven monk? Good strength, dexterity, and agility, but a kind of a poor constitution. Let's name him Oberon and keep. And a mercenary, a human mercenary, sure, why not? Wow, looks like she's wearing headphones almost. Okay, so a gnome thief named Irene, excellent. Dexterity of 7, not excellent. Alright, let's try and get a high dex. 16. $21. Looks good to me. Naren, hello. Kill everything or die trying. That's the idea. Spaceballs joke incoming. You know, it may seem like a terrible failing, but I've never seen Spaceballs. Remember, you can't have slaughter without laughter. Hey, Manic, how's it going today? Okay, let's keep Irene here. Then we want a shaman. A dwarf shaman is fine. Let's see, what do shamans want? Wisdom. $17 is not bad. There's a bit where the Leia space buns are actually headphones. Yeah. I have, through cultural osmosis, gotten a lot of the jokes for Spaceballs, but never actually watched it, nor Ice Pirates. I stubbornly refuse to die so far. You know, that's a goal. It's been a long time since I last saw Spaceballs. I imagine it's gotten pretty dated in a number of days, but probably still worth watching. Probably. Alright, and then a Sage or an Oracle. So mind and protection to force, or time prediction, detection, and movement. Let's get a Sage. Elven Sage. Not with that intelligence. There we go. I'd rather that remain the case, Maddox. A good work and good luck carrying forward. Exactly. Alright. Party created. Do you want to keep this party? Yes, I do. Do you want to enable hardcore mode, where you can only save your game at an inn? This decision is permanent, dangerous, and will lead to lost progress when the party dies. No, we don't want that. You should save your game at an inn as soon as possible, otherwise... something. Alright, so we've got a mini-map up here, usual stuff. I think we've got WASD to move around. Fuck them. I don't even like them. Exactly. It says we're supposed to start near an inn. Oh, there it is. Do you wish to save your game? Yeah, let's save our game in this empty slot here. Alright, Beatrice, Oberon, Clyburn, Irene, Brock, and Zariel. Okay. That's all we can do in an inn, so we'll leave. Okay. Can't go in that building. Nor that one. Okay. It's a little confusing which ones you can go in and which ones you can't. Let's look at a character. We have only weapons equipped. They're rested, which means that their hit points and mana are recharging twice as fast as they would if they weren't rested. We have 365 gold. Heals, attack, strength. Okay. Resistances. We can cast from this screen. Alright. It's interesting how it tells you can't go into a building by having it be off center. It's a little weird. Okay, we can bring up a big map. Curse removal, healer in, quest, recharger, and shop. Speaking with the butcher. I've heard that there is a group of giant boars roaming in the northeast of the southern hills. If you could hunt them down and bring me the meat, I'll reward you with a nice cloak. Alright. Check the northeastern area of the southern hills for the boars. I believe we could bring up a quest screen. It says exactly what we just heard. The fact that a relatively common letter is dedicated to curse removal suggests certain inclinations. It does. Alright, cannot go that way. But we did get a cue to remind us that we have a quest pending there. Go further that way. Can't go upstairs. Just assuming I can't plow forward on some of these. Curse removal. We don't need any. Oh, for the overview map. We can see how this is working out, I guess. Now that really looked like an enterable one. Okay, queue for quest. Speaking with the bearded blacksmith. I need a new hammer. Could you bring me one from Zakros? I'll reward you with a pair of gauntlets. Okay, the thing about the doors being off-center? Never mind, apparently that doesn't apply. Apparently. Alright. You should be able to find a hammer for sale in the city of Zakros. Alright. There's no strafing. Yeah, I thought Zakros was a person in town, maybe. S for a shop, which is good because we have nothing but weapons. Leon's used headgear. Bloody gladiator helm, dented steel cap, rusty iron helm, scuffed leather cap, and a torn hood. Okay, well, Zariel can buy a torn hood. Everything's so expensive. Alright. Leave. Equip a scuffed leather cap. Equip a hood. Rested head has worn off. What's H? A healer. which we can just enter through the side of the wall. Beatrice is fully healed. Oberon. Everybody's fully healed. Good to see the game's making the jokes about this place for me. Please buy my trash. Leon, probably. Orlando has us out one a little. This one, though, we didn't even bother. It's still got some brains in it. Maybe it'll make you smarter. I don't know. It does seem to be that kind of store. Alright. Where are we at again? Okay, so if we go like this and over here. It's a big area of town that we haven't. Oh, it's like a healer for your mana. Magic gear works that way sometimes. I'm sure it does. All right. So there's a quest in here. Speaking with Cora Babbitt. There's a brazier of warding in the catacombs that has stopped burning. Without its protection, the living dead have infested the area. I need you to travel to the catacombs and relight the flame. I can reward you with a magical staff if you complete this task. Alright. Have you lit the brazier in the catacombs yet? No, you literally just asked me to. Alright. Not M for the map, it's O for the map. M toggles the mini-map. It's become night while we're wandering around town. Yep. It's a quest we already have. Go up here and explore. Up this way. I was going to say, how in the world do we leave town? But I think we just figured that one out. Of course it's O for the map. Hey, Tino. O stands for Overview Map. Commit public indecency and get thrown out? Another shop? Athens Arms. Gladiuses, leather braziers and pauldrons and buckler shields and clubs and things. Tridents and spears. by Clyburn the Buckler. Overview, clearly. I did read the manual. That's the only reason I know that. This is a good old-fashioned read the manual kind of game. So that was for Clyburn. We'll go ahead and equip it. Another healer. Okay. Well, we have a couple quests. I'm gonna say let's step outside the city. Actually, I'm gonna say let's go to the gate and save the game. Save to slot 1. Alright. Which is fine if you have the manual, exactly. Manuals never touch the stuff. I kind of miss manuals. I miss manuals too. I miss getting a nice thick book or ring-bound thing that would explain a whole bunch of stuff, have a short story and all that. We lost something with the death of cool manuals. We really did. It's interesting because there are 3 games in this style out on Steam now, with a 4th one coming, and they all share the same manual. But it doesn't mention some things, like it says when you level up, you get a +1 to one of your stats, and it's statistically more likely to be your primary stat than anything else, but it doesn't list what the class's primary stats are. Okay. So here we are in the wilderness. If I go overview, map of Southern Hills. So if we look at our quests, giant boars roaming in the northeast of the Southern Hills. The other quests are in Zakros and the Catacombs, none of which we know where they are. There are some buildings over there. Well, let's go see what these buildings are. Speaking with produce farmer, I have a harvest ready to bring to market. Could you take it for me? I can reward you with a pair of handcrafted leather boots after you complete the delivery. The same manual for all 4 games? Yes. Even though each game has a different mix of classes that are available. But they're apparently all very similar in style. Alright, we'll accept that quest. Interesting choice, isn't it? Please deliver them to the market on the south side of Zakros. Okay, so now we have 2 quests in Zakros. And we could just clip straight through this guy's house. Okay, there's another building over here. From a design standpoint, that's actually kind of limiting. Yeah. I'm not sure what kind of building this looks like. Speaking with the mining foreman, it's a mine. Alright. Our tools have worn down and we need replacements. If you can retrieve a set of mining tools from the city of Zakros, I'll pay you handsomely. Alright. That's 3 questions. The tool seller is located in the southeast portion of Zakros. At least there's that. Someone wrote their core book and then just printed it straight for everything and said, figure out the rest yourself. Mm-hmm. Not M, O. All right. Let's save. The boars are supposed to be in the northeastern part of this area. So let's head up. Oh, a dilapidated building. All right, let's see. No, we can't just clip through it. Press the space key or OK button. Something in me just rebels about going through this door without saving, so. Seems prudent. It was cool chatting, but it's well past my bedtime and I'm fading past. Good night, Manic. Map of Ruins of Phaistos. Okay. Let's stick with the Southern Hills for a minute. Okay, we've run into the edge of the world. Still haven't seen any boars. Combat, y'all. 2 blue beetles. Now, there are 2 different combat systems for these games. One is round-based, where you pick all your actions and then everybody determines initiative and you don't know what order things are happening in. And there's turn-based, which is what this has got. So it's presenting us with a turn order up here, and everybody picks in turn. We've got 2 blue beetles. Both of them in good health. Alright, so this is a caster. What do we got? We've got barrier, doze, repel, strike, and stun. Let's cast doze on the blue beetles. Okay, another caster. Let's just pick attack though. Rock attacks blue beetle and hits for 5 damage. A miss. Blue beetle is dead. Blue beetle attacks Beatrice and misses. Warrior can attack, but misses. Our front line should just attack. Irene took 3 hit points of damage, unfortunately. It's relying a lot on me remembering from the picture who everybody is. Warrior. The party has won the battle. Surviving character gains 10 experience points and the party gains 0 gold. Four stone boars. Alright, attack for 3 damage. Poor Irene. hide. You attack, Clyburn. You cast Lesser Mending on Irene. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of hit points to get back. You can cast Repel. Clyburn hit for 2 damage. Zariel hit for 4. Clyburn hit for 4. We're not really equipped for this. Lesser Mending on Zariel. Cast Strike. Ouch, ouch, ouch. All right. We'll taunt. Because I think we're out of heal spells. Hide, attack. Attack. Again, we'll cast Strike. There we go. We've killed 2 of them. Somebody attacks Oberon, but we're taunting. Alright, 3 of the 4 are dead. We only have 2 mana, so we can't do that. We'll just block. 2 mana, so we can cast another strike. Party has won the battle. 36 experience points and 8 gold. And we are pretty messed up. Let's save the game. That was not what we needed to do as far as the butcher quest goes. All right. Let's head back to town. Here's the inn, where we'll save the game. Then everyone should be rested. Which means that we walk back and forth, obviously, until we're all healed up. All right. There's a little watchtower here. Can't do anything with it. Alright. Rested has worn off. That's alright. That's as far north as we can go. Another watchtower. We gotta fill in the map, right? 4 ravens. Attack, 6 damage kills them, so that's pretty good. 3 damage. A miss. Labyrinth hit for 5 damage. Doesn't seem to be any ranged disadvantage to being in the back row. It's a lot of missing, y'all. Alright, Brock, the next time you're up, you gotta heal yourself. Kill. Lesser mending on yourself. Buddy's won the battle for 20 experience and 5 gold. Alright, so you cast Lesser Mending on Oberon. And we'll see how long all that takes to regenerate. 1 stone boar. Alright, that we can take care of. Only 9 experience points. Four ravens. Why are they picking on Irene? That wasn't the right taunt. Alright, lesser mending on poor Zero, who taunted at the wrong time. We'll cast Repel. Taunting, taking your whole round and not really lasting that long seems to be kind of penalizing. Pardon me. Only 1 MP left, so... $20 experience points. Let's save, because we're in a bad way. Flee. Alright. Back to town we go. Mountain goats. Alright, a miss from the mountain goat. That's nice. Party has won the battle. Wild dogs. Okay, at least there's that. Wild dogs don't seem to be too difficult. $25 experience, so yep, unconscious character just kind of losing out in all ways. Wrong way. There's a healer here. Okay. Not much for it, but to go grind a bit. Green beetles. 6 of them. Attack. Alright, 2 of them are dead. We'll cast Strike. 3 of them are dead. Lesser Mending on Labyrinth. Okay, only 1 left. Just a whole round of misses. There we go, we've won the battle for 30 experience points. Beatrice gained a level, 13 hit points and a mana, and charisma. Oberon got 6 hit points and 1 mana, gains wisdom. Clyburn 7 hit points and 0 mana, wisdom. Irene 9 hit points and 2 mana, and intelligence. Brock 5 hit points and 4 mana, and luck. And poor Zariel didn't get a level. Alright. Next level at 500 experience points. Wow. Beezer's outpacing everybody else in hit points by a major number. Okay, we'll stop our sweeping to come and investigate this farm. What looks like a farm. Nothing there. I'm stuck here, speaking with Tower Guard, I'm stuck here in the tower with nothing to eat but apples. If you bring me some cheese, I'll give you a ring I found in the road. Okay. There's a dairy farm in the northern hills that sells some high quality cheese. You didn't say high quality cheese. Sounds like a good thing for the warrior to do. Get a lot of hit points? Well, yeah. Okay, rested has worn off. It's okay because everybody's all full again. At this point, we're just filling in the map. One wild dog, I think we could do that. If people don't miss. Maybe it's just mobile UIs trickling into everything, but this kind of feels like it would play well on a tablet. Maybe so. Oberon finds pants. It said, fill in the map, fill in the map. Okay. The soil here has been disturbed recently. It might be worth finding something to dig with. I say. Five wild dogs, which are proceeding to ouch us up. Alright, cast Lesser Mending on Zerial. And then just a series of attacks. One wild dog is dead. And the Lesser Mending for Oberon. That's what you get for your trouble. I do not understand how they are picking which enemy to target. Well, right now I do, because there's only one left standing. Zerio's late level up, 5 hit points and 4 mana, and luck. Cast Lesser Mending on Brock. Press space or OK button, but it doesn't say where it's going to go. We'll find out in just a sec. Alright. If we go through here, where are we? Map of Northern Hills. Okay, we're not done with the Southern Hills yet. Alright. Mount Wolf. Okay, we won that. A mountain goat, we can do that. Okay, 8 experience and 3 gold. Two carrion birds. Alright. These are tough. Veteran, I got an achievement. Score 10 kills with a character. Party has won the battle. Three mountain goats. All right. 24 experience. Let's go in and get rested. Three killer bees. So far we've found absolutely nothing that pertains to the quests that we've got. 18 experience. How close are we getting? Not close. We haven't found the cemetery. We haven't found the other town. We haven't found the giant boars. Rested is worn off. Oh, weak poison has worn off. That's a notification you'd like to see. The fruit farmer, apples and grapes. Nobody's asked for any apples and grapes, so... Sorry, farmer, we're not buying. Blue beetles. Cast strike and kill one. Awesome. Okay, attack. Attack. Hide. What's the hotkey for hide? Alright, hide. Jump into the shadows. So, attack. Nobody needs healing, so attack. Oh, we can afford another spell. Strike. Alright. 15 experience points. And no gold. A wild dog in this house. Ugh, so I can never get the wall behind there. Okay. Can't make this square unseen. And it's more filling in the map. Okay, now we'll see if this little farm has something in it. No. Four wolves. Cast, strike on the wolves, and one dies. Nice. Another death. All the wolves are dead. 36 experience points. Alright, overview map. Alright, so what have we got? We have the ruins of an old city, a quest to get mining equipment. I don't remember what quest that is. A fruit shop, a quest to get some cheese. The city. Another quest. The map's pretty filled in. So let's save. See what's going on in this abandoned town. This looks like bad news. 2 red beetles, 2 fortune tellers, and 3 ruins crawlers. And 1 hit for 7 damage. Oh wow. You don't even get to... Okay, those ruins crawlers are just tiny for some reason. We're just gonna get mercilessly killed by this. I'd like to attack the fortune tellers, please. Force Spirit on Beatrice. Brock is now dead. Well, we'll get to see the game over screen. Tombstone, have your whole party die. Alright. We are not ready for that yet. I guess the next question is, are we ready for the Northern Hills? 3 giant boars. Here are the giant boars. Attack. Attack. Nobody needs healing, so attack. Beatrice. Cast strike on the giant boars. We desperately need a healing spell for Beatrice. Well, that didn't heal very much. Another strike, please. One of them is dead. Another healing spell. Another dead boar. Another strike. Yet another lesser mending for Beatrice. Even though they're picking on poor Clyburn now. Alright, party has won the battle. 45 experience and 5 gold. Tell me. Yes, we've completed the quest. Let's go get a nice cloak. Two wild dogs vanquished. Same 2 wild dogs. Speaking with the butcher, you've achieved the quest objectives. That's a weird thing for him to say. Complete quest. Excellent. My partner makes high-quality clothes from animal hides and will bring you one. Zariel receives boar hide cloak. Okay. there's 3 AC plus 5% cold. Pants. Alright. Labyrinth seems to be getting beaten up a lot, so let's give the cloak to him. Equip. Is the queue gonna stay there? That's not confusing. We'll save the game. Not that far from leveling, except for poor Zariel, who missed out on a whole bunch of XP. Not a bad sunset effect. So what makes the mercenary class distinct from like the warrior? A mercenary is a multi-classed warrior thief. So slightly less better combat than the warrior and slightly less better thief abilities than the thief. Mountain wolves. Ouch. That really hurt. Also mending for Clyburn. I just gave him a cloak. What is wrong? We'll cast Strike. Okay. Unless you're mending for Oberon, hide, block. Mountain wolves are really kicking our butt. Not enough mana to cast a lesser mending. A backstab for 6 points of damage. Alright. Irene remains hidden. Let's see how this works. Zero can keep blocking. Zero is dead. Bye again, Zero. Exactly. Note to self, if I ever play this, bring 2 healers. Yes. Straight back to town we go. It doesn't really feel like frontline backline is mattering as much as it should. It does not. And taunting doesn't feel like it affects things as much as it should either. For spending a whole turn and not getting to attack with your warrior or whoever taunts, it feels like it should be better. Carrion birds. Okay, one is dead. Go ahead and strike. Less for mending. Alright, that wasn't so bad, except our healer's MP is almost all gone. Rested is worn off. Goblin robes to jump from cover and attack. You guys just want to sell you their wares, I would gladly buy something. I need things. It feels like I don't have enough equipment. Even as a start character. Alright, I'm just going to start clicking flee. Head back to the safety of town. Rested. Save again. Two wounds. 6 damage right off the bat. Beatrice gained a level, 12 hit points and 1 mana. Charisma. Oberon, 8 hit points, 1 mana. Strength. Clyburn, 8 hit points, 0 mana. And Dexterity. Irene, 7 hit points, 2 mana. And Agility. And Brock, 6 hit points and 5 mana. And Wisdom. And new spells. And found a knife. Killer bee. Sure, why not give them a surprise round? And we're sitting right in front of a prompt. Strike. Yeah, this is gonna be bad. Okay, now we have Boar Spirit and Eagle Spirit. Lesser Mending, Poison Arrow, single enemy, 7 to 12 poison damage, Cure Paralysis, Dust Storm, and Mending. 15 mana. I mean, we have some nice offensive spells, but we don't want to use them because he's our only healer. Oh, goody. Another 55 experience point gap. Nope, just a building. I see some ruins. Where do these take us? The catacombs. Okay, we do have a quest to come here. Hey, Tristal. Oh, good, cool. I'm glad this game gets the seal of I'll try this from our Dominic. I downloaded the demo, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. Yeah. I have strong, I don't want to do this yet feelings from the catacombs. We'll just flee from those. So far, it's interesting. Not gonna lie, I'm a little frustrated with it. Your characters start with just weapons. No armor. And there doesn't seem to be enough money to buy the equipment from the starting town, and there's only a couple of pieces anyway. So my furthest backline character, Ariel, keeps getting knocked unconscious because the monsters are targeting the back line as much as the front line. Zerial, yes. We may as well get the... Alright. I'm going to pop over to the manual. All right, so it's thieves that can identify things. So identify this club. It's a club. Okay. Trade to Irene. Trade to Irene. Trade to Irene. Trade to Irene. Okay, couldn't identify that. Couldn't identify that. Okay, what it didn't say is that it was lowering my intelligence every time I failed. Nice achievement? No. Fail at identifying enough to lower your intelligence to 1, it says. Headache. It'll just go away after you walk around a while. So now we engage in the very interesting task of walking up and down in the town. Well, it should get everybody healed as well, so at least there's that. Alright, Irene. It's a buckler. Okay. The question is, can Zariel use it? No. Bet Beatrice can use it. Doesn't appear to do anything. Hey, Car. I played the demo of this a few days ago. What did you think? Let's identify these pants. Nope, we got a headache. It's kind of neat. I didn't get anywhere. I'm not getting anywhere either. Pants go on head? They do. Pacing around. Gameplay. Exactly. Now we got to do it again to get rid of her headache. Even Wizardry was smart enough to know that identification failures that penalized you were not any fun to do in town. I mean, sleeping in the inn might as well heal you if you're going to be able to pace up and down like this to completely heal. This is a long-lasting headache. All right, Irene. Pants. Okay. Where's their shop again? Here and then up. Identify stuff Irene is carrying. Cloth pants. 1 AC. Don't know why that's such a headache to identify. Can Zariel use cloth pants? Yes. Finally, a little bit of armor for our sage. Our poor sage, who is way behind, experience points wise. Alright. Let's identify this sword while we're at it. A broadsword. One to 6 damage plus 1 attack. 1 to 7 damage plus 3 attack. So we'll equip that instead. Still with the headache. I'm really curious as to what that 66 gold piece identification could be, but I'm not willing to pay 66 gold pieces for it. And so Clyburn can try and identify it as well. Nope. Yeah, it dropped his IQ all the way down to 1. Now we've got 2 headaches. Hilo doesn't care. Wow. Alright, we'll go out into the big bad world. Let's take a look at our quests. We have a quest that deals with the catacombs. We're clearly not ready for it yet. A brazier we have to light. I couldn't even find the catacomb. Yeah, it's in the northern hills. It's in the southwestern part of the northern hills. So outside of the gate is the southern hills. The northern hills almost got me the last time I was there. I went there, but everything was too tough. Yeah, like the ruins of Phelan, which are also the ruins of Faerie, which are also too tough. The city of Zakros is the one that I don't know where it is. I have 3 quests for Zakros, but no idea where Zakros is. I didn't see a city in the northern hills. All right. Save. I don't know why I'm looking at the map. I'm out here for grindy reasons. Cast. Strike on wolves. Hide, which has no shortcut. Again, cast a spell. 104 minutes. Alright, 45 experience. And you cast Lesser Mending on Zerial. Beetles. One of the weirdest things I'm finding is that you can't target something. Like, you hit attack, and it just attacks a random enemy. It doesn't focus one down. It doesn't allow you to choose between the different parties. Alright, we'll have a lesser mending, please, for Zero. She didn't stay hidden very long. I really don't want Zerial to die again. Alright, party has won the battle. 30 experience. Zerial gained a level. She caught up with everybody else. Only 4 hit points though, and charisma, which is not terribly useful for her. Clyburn still has a headache. 5 killer bees. People are getting poisoned. Cure paralysis, but not cure poison. You hide. Yeah, hide. Zara does what you want, she bellows before chugging a flask of poison. Oh, good. Another unidentified item to get a headache over. Stone boars, I'm not ready. Hide. Cast SWAT. 7 damage, not bad. Missed. You're in the shadows. Let's have a backstab. A backstab for 2 damage. Cast lesser mending on Zarya. Finally, Labyrinth's headache is worn off. $11 to cure poison? Okay. Let's get rested. Goblin Venom Dagger, 2 to 6 damage with weak poison. Alright, we'll give this to Zariel. We'll give this to Irene, who will get a headache. Well, at least we finally identified that knife. Now with rested, let's get everybody back up to snuff. No more headache. This makes for a compelling stream, eh? Marching up and down right in front of the inn all day. Rested is worn off. So we'll go and get it again. And welcome to Dungeon Crawlers. They end up making you do ridiculous stuff sometimes. It's true, it's true. Just waiting for that last hit point to roll in on Brock. There we go. We'll hit the end and click save. And with that, I think that's all the time we have today for Dungeon Days. I guess we'll be back on Thursday at around the same time, 11 o'clock Eastern, for a little more of this. Thanks, y'all, for showing up. I really appreciate it. This is an interesting game. I'm interested to see it get going. I'm hoping that once we gain one more level, we can go over and mess around and reveal the map in the northern hills. Maybe find that town, see what we can do in the catacombs, and all of that kind of stuff. I hope we can actually get the things identified that we need identified, and so on and so on. So, have a nice day, everybody, and see you then. Bye.